Hello, hello, and welcome to the Rock Metal Podcast. I am your host, John Harris. On my right-hand side is my right-hand man, Gabriel.
We got a Vedetta, the Gramma.
That's right. Today on the Rock Metal Podcast, we have Gramma Vedetta, who has a new album called Acid Compliant, or technically ACID Compliant, which was released on July 3rd. Right now, I'm being joined by Dan to share some more information about what the boys have got going on, what these tracks are about, what they've got coming up, what they've been up to this whole time during lockdown. So, Dan, welcome to the show.
Hey, thank you. Thank you, John, for having me. I'm happy to be here. Yeah.
You know, it's a place that you can hang up your boots.
Yeah. And the wall.
And the wall. Yeah, we're right next to the porthole. Now, I guess my first question is, these two tracks that we wanted to chat about today, because there are 4 tracks on the EP/album. I don't know how you guys refer to it, but definitely a banger of a group of songs, and you wanted to chat about the first 2. So I guess my big question for you, Dan, is out of the 4 songs on the record, why these 2? Why Hang Up My Boots and Porthole?
Because if I talk about chronologically, these are the first 2 songs we wrote for the release, and they actually has been released with the release later. So when we decide to put outside something, the first 2 songs that we released for the people were A Lucid Dream and Everything is Terrible and The House is on Fire. So they have been around since a couple of months, and we didn't cover enough Hang Up My Boots and Porthole, and they're the one actually the oldest we wrote.
Okay, very cool. Now, Hang Up My Boots. What is this track about? Why are we hanging up your boots? Where are we hanging them up? Are they clean, at least?
Yeah. I don't know if it's an English way to say, but in Italy, when you say that, it's basically you want to give up everything. And the song is about the opposite. Want to express the opposite message that no matter what, you wake up and you feel bad, you have a bad day at work, or you are broke up with your girlfriend and everything, and you never give up the things you believe, and you have just to find another thing that make your life brighter and go on.
Okay.
Yes, the song basically is this guy, the main character of the songs, has a bad day, feels bad, and to find another reason to go on, he decided to build a rocket and go on another planet. That's the idea.
Wow. So then is the entire 4-song collection like a concept involving this main character?
Well, the first 2, yes. We didn't plan to have a concept, actually. But at the end, when I finished to write the lyrics and the second, the third, and the 4th songs came out, involuntarily, I had this concept of this person, this journey of this person from a bad day up until the last one of the triplet is A Lucid Dream. Yeah.
Okay, very cool. So this character has come up against some sort of trials or tribulations, decides instead of giving up, of putting his boots on the wall. And what do you do in Italy after that? You just make focaccia and eat focaccia and just with your boots on the wall? It's kind of interesting story to think about.
Let's say when you say I put my shoes on the wall, I basically give up on what I'm doing and find another things. Probably, yeah.
Groovy. So he gets onto a rocket ship, and then that takes us to Porthole, where he's then looking out the window, or the porthole, rather, of the rocket ship.
Yeah, exactly. So basically, that is, I imagine the music of the song, to be in waking up in space, or in a very silent environment, can be the space, and you don't have any stimulus from outside. The light is off. no sound, you're alone, and the only thing you can do to keep going on is to taking memories from your brain, from your head, and try to work around them and rethink them and review what you did in the past.
Okay. So then I guess my question is, with all of that intention, what is our character's goal when he gets to the planet, and do we know what planet it is? Is it in our solar system, or is it in a different conceptual solar system?
This will be developed in the next album. I already have a couple of songs that continues his journey until he lands on a planet outside. I can say outside is the solar system. I can say 1 million miles away. I can say. Yeah.
Beautiful. Now, something you mentioned there was the next album. So I guess with Acid Compliant being released now, is it the intention to maybe give us another set of 4 or 5 songs, or is the goal to get us an LP of 10 plus songs?
Yeah, no, the goal is having a full length, 10 plus. The reason why we put out this EP is because when we found a new drummer back in December, we were already recording the songs. And we decided, okay, let's not do the EP, let's do the full length. So we started rehearsing in January, new songs, February, couple of gigs, and then, lockdown. So what happened, we say, okay, we cannot do any more practicing. We can continue writing the songs, but we cannot go practicing. You can do recording. So we decided at the end, let's release the songs that we had already recorded, and postpone the release of Nephew Lang. So during the lockdown, we used basically the months we had, the time we had to refine the song we were writing at the beginning of the year. And we are now starting practicing them. So the idea is to do a full length of 10 plus songs.
Mm-hmm. That was actually one of my questions there, Dan, is because usually this time of the year in the summer, we'd be doing tours and festivals and whatever else. But instead, we've all been on lockdown and in quarantine. And so that was going to be my question is, what have you guys been up to? And it sounds like you've been really busy packaging up some previously recorded things, which we're chatting about now, and then preparing our ears for an onslaught of more music to come.
Yeah, exactly. So we use the technology everyone is used to exchange information and ideas, Zoom call, WeTransfer, all this kind of stuff. And we exchange riff idea of the structures, and with that we review what we did in the first months of the years, and we come up with some demo that we have in a shared drive somewhere, and the songs are ready to be played all together in a room.
Yeah. Now, I guess my question is acid compliant, but it's ACID compliant. Can we get into a bit of what this means in the artwork? Is this our main character that is going to be flying into space, this elegant young lady with the helmet on?
Well, there is no secret meaning behind the acid compliant, because if you Google it, everyone can find it. Basically, is a thing about my job. I'm a data and software engineer, and acid compliant is some characteristic of some databases. It's very nerd thing, and it means like atomic consistency, idempotency, and D. I don't remember what is D. And basically means that you can rely on, when you do an operation, if the database is ACID compliant, you know that when you have a response from the server saying, okay, I got your data, the data are there. It's like a very nerd thing. But it sounds cool. So I like it to put it as a as a title of the album. Also, the previous one is called Proof of Concept, which is another terms that we usually use at work when you are developing a website or an application and you have the idea, you put together the things and to show up what you want to do. It's a proof of concept.
Yeah, I was going to say it's a deeply scientific term as well. Does your idea hold water? And when it does, you have proof of concept.
Yeah, yes.
Groovy, baby, groovy. All right, well, everything is terrible and the house is on fire. Why? Whose house is on fire? Why is everything terrible? What's going on here?
we have to ask to my friend Matt Bacon. So that song has been created, it's written as a intro theme for the music industry podcast Dumb and Dumbest from Matt Bacon, Keith, and Curtis. And this the phrase is the introduction of what Matt was saying during the beginning of the show before the intro was saying, "Welcome to our podcast where everything is terrible and the house is on fire." And it's a super funny phrase.
Yeah. Well, and relatively applicable depending on where you're at in the world right now. So, not everyone is in New Zealand where everything is just perfect. So,
exactly. Yeah.
Groovy. All right. Well, Dan, I don't really have any other questions to ask you right now. So it seems like we've covered everything anyway that I wanted to ask. But if there's anything else that you wanted to bring up that I did not mention, we can obviously do so. Otherwise, I just wanted to thank you for coming on to the Rock Metal Podcast today.
Yeah, I just want to thank you for having me and sharing the music of my band. I want to tell your audience that if they want to reach out to us, by Gramma Vedetta on all social media, just search for it. And I hope you enjoy the songs and see you next time with a full length probably.